We're live on YouTube.
We're live.
Recording. Podcast starts. 3, 2.
Warning. What you're about to listen to may not be politically correct.
William Jones, Adam Holmes. You're listening to the Jones and Holmes Show.
And we're live this Tuesday night, June 19th, 2018. Jones and Holmes Show, episode 21.
Man, 21 of them.
21 of them. You can now listen to us for like, what, if you figure it's an hour and a half per episode, you can get a good day and a half straight of just listening to us talk.
I doubt anybody's going to do that.
You never know. You never know.
They might.
Now, since we're live, let me tweet out that we're live while we're doing this. What's been going on in the shop?
Corvette stuff. Got a yellow Corvette in the shop. Doing a cam swap and torque converter swap. Going to a nice big choppy camshaft. And also putting in a higher stall torque converter so we can get this thing to launch hard.
So what's the difference going to be before and after?
Well, I baselined it on the dyno this morning. It made like 330-ish to the tire. And hoping, I'd love to see 450 out of it. I don't know if it's going to do that. It'll at least do 400. It's going to be, if it does 450, I'll be thrilled. But I think it's going to make somewhere in the 400 to 420 horsepower range. The thing is, if you put somebody in a car that is 420 horsepower, and then you stick them in a car that's 450 horsepower, they're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Right. Man, it's funny because I've never really driven a car with more than 286 horsepower or whatever the Cadillac makes.
At the crank?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's probably only making like 190 to the tire.
So, yeah. One day.
Yeah. Come out here and visit. I'll take you for a ride in something. I got a few 500 horsepower ones laying around here.
Yeah, just laying around.
500 wheel horsepower. So you're talking about a car that makes low 6 to mid 550 at the crank.
Right. Man.
It's a completely different story, buddy.
It is.
I got to get one of the diesel guys to bring one of them diesel trucks over that make like, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque to the tire.
Now that must be scary when you have something that big that goes that fast.
Oh, it's retarded. I mean, like, it just doesn't even make sense. You get in that thing, you're just like blasted off like a rocket, and it doesn't feel right because you're in a truck.
Right. I know, because even mine doesn't feel right, and it's not. I mean, I can get the tires to spin, 40-inch tires, but it's scary.
Yeah. What does yours make to the torque to the tire?
Clue. No clue.
It can't be that much.
No, but it's enough. It just produces enough torque that you're like, man, this thing's quick. It has to be quicker than my Camry.
Yeah.
But you figure it weighs 3 times as much.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's crazy about it. So we have all sorts of great things to talk about. And let's kick it off with, should we start with the Space Force?
Well, of course, we talked about this once before. We got some updates.
Yeah. Trump, a couple months ago, he floated the idea of a Space Force. And this time, it sounds like he actually directed the Pentagon to create a Space Force. So here's a clip, CBS Morning News.
President Trump is ordering the Pentagon to create a separate military branch to handle space. The president announced his proposed Space Force yesterday. It would be the first new branch of the armed services since the Air Force was created in 1947. Supporters of the president's plan say the Air Force doesn't give space the attention or money it needs. David Martin looks at what it would mean to have a Space Force.
The Air Force plans to conduct 50 space launches this year and already operates 77 satellites on orbit, including these GPS satellites which guide everything from high-tech weapons to everyday drivers. Nearly 40,000 Air Force men and women are currently assigned to space. But President Trump has told the Pentagon to set up a new branch of the armed services just for space.
We are going to have the Air Force, and we are going to have the Space Force.
The American way of war depends on space, which is why potential adversaries like Russia and China have developed anti-satellite weapons, a threat brought home in 2007 when China created this vast debris field by shooting down one of its own weather satellites. General John Hyten, the overall commander of U.S. Space Forces, spoke with 60 Minutes in 2015.
It was a significant wake-up call to our entire military. Until that singular event, I don't think the broader military realized that that is something we're going to have to worry about.
Doug Lavero is the former head of space policy for the Pentagon.
It's not that the Air Force has done a bad job, but to bring it further, to bring it to where we need to get to, we really need a service focused on it.
Less than a year ago, Defense Secretary Mattis wrote this letter saying, "I do not wish to add a separate service for space." But now his commander-in-chief has spoken, although Congress will have the final say. For CBS This Morning, David Martin at the Pentagon.
And we'll see whether Congress actually moves forward on this.
It's an ambitious plan at this present moment.
Now, here's the only problem, though, is I don't know if Trump knows this, but apparently we're having a hard time getting past the Van Allen radiation belts.
Oh, yeah.
So how are we going to get into space?
This is one of your
this is my
hey,
theories.
Where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah, this is NASA. And what was this? This was on a program.
Yeah, it was like a discovery or history program, I think.
Yeah, and this is them talking about us getting into space.
Yeah.
We are headed 3,600 miles above Earth, 15 times higher from the planet than the International Space Station. As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. For this flight, it's time to head home.
So,
I don't know why they don't just get that tinfoil stuff out that they had in 1969. That stuff seemed to work pretty good.
It's covered in tinfoil.
That's it.
Reynolds wrap. That was Reynolds wrap.
Hey, so we did. We did back in 69. So
fly around,
I don't know.
Fly around space.
I don't know. I'm gonna play conspiracy theorist. I say we didn't go to the moon.
And I'll say that we went there, and we killed all the aliens, and we built a couple moon bases, but they're on the other side, so nobody can see them.
Right. Well, didn't I think Buzz Aldrin said that there's an obelisk on the moon, so that must have been how he knew that the aliens were there.
Somebody put one there.
Yeah, something.
So this is let me see if I can find the actual clip of when he's talking about creating this space
My
force.
administration is reclaiming America's heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. The essence of the American character is to explore new horizons and to tame new frontiers. But our destiny beyond the Earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. So important for our military, so important, and people don't talk about it. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the 6th branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. Legions of welders and metal workers, scientists.
That's the part when he talks to the general.
No.
That's the best part.
They cut it out.
Yeah, they cut it out. Said something to the general. Like, let's go.
We're going to space, boys.
Going to space. Let's see. This is let's see what CNN's saying about it.
It made for almost too easy a target.
We're going to have
Whoa.
the Space Force.
Instantly, the internet began taking potshots at the president's order to start to establish a 6th branch of the armed forces. The president will easily qualify as the first space cadet. Tweeted one critic. The Space Force will make the galaxy great again.
We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal.
It reminded some of an old Dave Chappelle routine about a president trying to distract from other issues.
The United States of space, because I ain't stopping at the moon.
President Trump has been musing about this for months.
I said, maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force. And I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea.
Maybe not such a great idea was how some in the Pentagon reacted. But the president forged ahead and is now getting a spacesuit makeover on Twitter. Read one tweet, "We're going to build a Space Force and the aliens are going to pay for it." Just the way the president pronounces it.
Space Force.
Makes you want to salute. Delivered with such gusto, it could become the next favorite Trump word to imitate, along the lines of,
They're going to China.
China. China. China.
But members of the
Space Force
would be going a lot farther than
China.
Genimo, CNN.
Space Force.
That's so retarded.
I like Space Force.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing being talked about right now is the migration problems with kids being separated at the border.
Yeah.
It's not migration problems. It's
No.
people breaking the law, and then because they broke the law, there's some sort of punishment for it. And in this case, if you break the law, just like if you were a regular common criminal and you're a crackhead and you're buying crack and you have a kid at home and the cops come and see you buying crack, and
you're going to lose that kid.
They're going to arrest you and you're going to lose the kid.
Yep.
Or say you were you're walking with your child and you're walking down the street and you just decide to go kill somebody and you just kill them. You're just standing there. They're going to come and arrest you and take the kid.
Exactly.
Pretty much anything that you do where you get arrested, they're going to take the kid.
Yep.
You know, unless you have family where the kid can stay with family.
For whatever reason, people seem to have a hard time understanding. They're like, oh, it's horrible. You're separating families. Well, hold on. Stop doing illegal things with your children, and then you won't get separated. It's that simple.
That's right. That's right. So here is and the left are losing their mind over this.
Going
one.
crazy.
They're
Not the left,
crazy.
the Pinkos.
The Pinkos. The Pinkos are going crazy. So here's Trump when he's speaking about creating his Space Force. He I just can't wait for the Space Force. American dominance in space. This is him. This is a clip, CBS News. He blames the Democrats for the nation's immigration problems, which, remember, all these illegals, the Democrats are just seeing them as one huge voting pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
If I might, I just wanted to make a brief statement on immigration and what's happening. And I'll say it very honestly, and I'll say it very straight. Immigration is the fault in all of the problems that we're having, because we cannot get them to sign legislation. We cannot get them even to the negotiating table. And I say it's very strongly the Democrats' fault. They're they're really obstructionist, and they are obstructing. The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility. Won't be. You look at what's happening in Europe, you look at what's happening in other places. We can't allow that to happen to the United States, not on my watch. For the rest of the world, you look at everything that's taking place. Pick up your newspapers this morning, and you see. We want safety and we want security for our country. If the Democrats would sit down instead of obstructing, we could have something done very quickly.
Sit down, shut up.
Good for the country, good for the world. It could take place quickly. We could have an immigration bill. We could have child separation. We're stuck with these horrible laws. They're horrible laws. What's happening is so sad, and it can be taken care of quickly, beautifully, and we'll have safety. This could really be something very special. It could be something maybe even for the world to watch, just like they're watching our great economy, how it's soaring. They could watch this. We have the worst immigration laws in the entire world. Nobody has such sad, such bad, and actually in many cases, such horrible and tough. You see about child separation. You see what's going on there. But just remember, a country without borders is not a country at all.
It sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
And this is a video. This is Obama when he was a senator, speaking about illegal
able to
immigration.
participate in these negotiations. You know, we all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully to become immigrants in this country. So that's why we need to start by giving agencies charged with border security new technology, new facilities, and more people to stop, process, and deport illegal immigrants. Having said that, securing the borders alone does not solve immigration management. We're going to have to better manage legal immigration in order to end illegal immigration. Senators McCain and Kennedy point us in the right direction on that point. Right now, we've got millions of illegal immigrants who live and work here without knowing their identity or background. That's part of the reason that we need a guest worker program to replace the flood of illegals with a regulated stream of legals who enter the United States after checks and with access to labor rights. Part of the reason that illegal immigration is so damaging is that it ends up creating a pool of workers with depressed wages and no rights, and that's not something that we find acceptable.
So Obama, this is when he was still a senator, and it must have been before they had the sudden realization that they had a huge voting pool waiting to open up.
Yeah. He was going after his all of his supporters there. I guess he didn't realize it.
Right. And this was before that. And it's interesting because it's just a sudden shift. Okay, the first term Obama was in, 2008, the Democrats had control of the White House and both houses of Congress. What were they doing?
I don't know.
They didn't legalize them all.
No.
Because I don't think that they saw this threat. I think they really thought they were riding high. That was it. It was done. Conservatism is dead. The communists have won. And then they suddenly realized as time went on, your first midterm elections, 2010, and the Republicans take back control of the House, that, maybe we don't have all that. We need to strengthen up our voting base. And that's all it is. That's all this is the voting base. I mean, that's the political power players in the background. That's how they see it. And that's what they know they're doing. They're smart. They're not dumb. They're very smart. They know what they're doing. But it's the followers of this cult of liberal communism that's been propagating. All the followers, the young, especially the young people, the weak-minded, young, the impressionable.
The people without their brains developed.
Right, the people that haven't had their brains developed, because the brain doesn't develop till you're like 26. So pre-26, you're just a weak-minded. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. We both kind of agree with this one. You shouldn't be allowed to vote until you're 30 or 40. Because
40 and owning land.
40 and a landowner, man. Country would change overnight.
Yeah.
But the reason being is because you have these impressionable people, and these impressionable people, anything that sways their emotion, they'll just change in an instant. They'll change their opinion if their emotions can be played the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's scary. And that's what they're doing right now. It's like, okay, so we talk about it and that doesn't really do anything. So what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And then you start noticing that if you mess with emotion enough, you can sway a huge amount of people. And so here's an example of that. This clip right here, this is CBS This Morning, Gayle King talking about the conditions of these poor children.
How is the border?
I'll say, Alex, you know, we arrived yesterday afternoon. We went straight to the facility, the location, where kids and their parents were reunited. And all I can say after talking to the people, watching the people, listening to the people, that the Statue of Liberty, I think, is weeping right now. It's unbelievable, the stories that we heard. People say that this zero tolerance policy actually means zero humanity. What do you say to that? I've heard some describe this, and the rhetoric is very heated right now. The conversation is very heated. And I've heard some people describe this as a form of child abuse. Do you see it that way?
It is a form of child abuse.
Child abuse at the border. Trump.
Yeah, I think it's child abuse. All right, it's the parents abusing their children by taking them to the scene of a crime.
And the Statue of Liberty is weeping.
Oh,
it's weeping.
Man.
Trump is such an evil monster that he's just beating the Statue of Liberty, and she is weeping. They actually updated this story. This was 6 days in June, right? Net flood.
Yeah.
Net's flood broadcasts with 176 minutes of separated kids coverage. Since you've sent that to me, it's updated. 258 minutes of separated kid coverage.
Wow.
This is since June 13th. This just shows you right here. This is the emotion. Look at this chart, right? June 13th, 6 minutes talking about kids being separated at the border. June 14th, 19 minutes, 15th, 15, 16th, 20, the 17th, 22. June 18th, suddenly 94 minutes.
94. Wow.
94 minutes of coverage just talking about kids being separated. Why? What's that doing? They've been being separated for years.
Why don't we talk about all the kids that go missing like we say all the time?
Right. How about instead of talking about these children that are being separated because their parents are taking them, maybe if the parents didn't drag them through the jungle for a couple thousand miles, then try to illegally cross over into our border, maybe that's the child abuse. And then they get them separated. It's the fault of the parent. It's not the fault of the child.
Ridiculous.
It's not the fault of Trump. It's the fault of the parent for trying to break the law. Just like someone goes out and murders somebody and they're a single parent with no family around and the kids gets taken into the system. This is what's happening. But these children are being taken and put into a safe environment. But we don't dare talk about how many children per year in the United States go missing. It's like 800,000.
That's worldwide, I think.
I think that was just the United States.
It was like 200. I thought it was like 230,000.
Yeah, it's something crazy.
Yeah.
So we don't talk about that.
No, because it's the pedophile elites that are taking them.
Right. We don't talk about that. Here's the stat right here. Roughly 800,000 children reported missing each year in the United States.
Oh, that was the United States.
Yeah, wow. Man. 2,000 per day. But don't talk about that. Talk about the kid in the cage.
The kid in the cage.
Talk about the kid in the cage. Okay. Here's this photo. It's been all over the place. Just floating around. The kid in the cage.
They're locking them up in cages.
They're locking them up in cages. And I saw this one float around on Facebook with a few of the liberal communist so-called friends of mine. And they post this and they're crying about it. How could we come to this point? We're locking up children in cages. I mean, Trump is such an evil man. And look how racist he is too. By the way, he's racist too. Locking kids up in cages. Well, here's the thing that they don't tell you. This picture of the little boy crying in a cage was years ago, right? It was a couple years ago. And here you go. This is like this guy, Jose Antonio Vargas, whoever he is. This is what happens when a government believes people are illegal. When people are illegal. Illegal people.
Illegal people.
Have we ever said illegal people?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even make sense. The illegal people. Here they come. Kids in cages.
Oh, look, it says that Luke Skywalker retweeted this.
Luke Skywalker, hashtag un-American. Look at this kid in the cage. I'm going to go play with my laser sword.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Go cut him out of the cage with your laser sword, Skywalker.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. What's this picture here?
Oh, look. This is what actually happened. It was a protest. So the actual photo was a protest organized by the Texas chapter of the Brown Berets Day, whatever that says, some Latino advocacy group. So this Latino advocacy group showed boys outside in cages as activists held signs urging the White House to stop separating families. It was June 10th.
Yeah.
They took this.
Leroy Pina, head of the Brown Berets Dallas-Fort Worth chapter, took 2 pictures of the caged crying boy and posted them on Facebook.
He said, this was part of our protest yesterday, but this is actually going on right now at this very minute in child detention centers throughout the country.
Wait a minute. Child detention centers are for juvenile delinquents.
No, we have child detention centers, cages.
For illegal people.
Just for Latinos all around the country. And we're just taking these little boys and throwing them in dog cages.
Okay. First off, they're called the Brown Berets, which is a spinoff of the Green Berets. The name. And to say, all right, so all the Mexican people like to refer to themselves as brown. Okay, but black people are brown too.
Right.
I think they're racist.
I think that, yeah, maybe they are.
I mean, aren't we technically, unless you're an albino, aren't we all shades of brown?
We're something, man. I mean, I'm looking at a piece of paper I have in front of me that's white, and I don't look anything like this.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is what's crazy. Someone takes a picture of a kid in a dog cage and throws it around the internet and says, this is what's happening. There's child detention centers all over the country, and they're locking up the Mexicans. And people just believe it. Oh, okay. Oh, what are we going to do? Change our profile picture to a kid in a cage. That will show them. Put crying emojis on every post. We're gonna get that Trump, that Nazi, that evil Nazi. What are they doing?
People believe this stuff, man.
Who believes it? This is why the people that believe this are voting. And they're living and breeding and having more children and raising them the same way.
Oh, it's bad.
That's bad. Think about that. So we got generations of these kind of people growing up that just don't have a brain and can't think and think that the picture of the kid in the cage is, I mean, it just sounds so ridiculous.
40 years old, tax paying, land owning. Those are the requirements.
Now think about this. So they put the kid in the cage, right? And this is what Leroy Pina, the head of the group, am I saying that wrong? Is it Pena?
I don't know. Well, it's supposed to be, isn't the N like a Y, but it's supposed to have a little like swirly line on top of it, I think.
It doesn't, so we'll just say Penna.
Yeah.
Leroy Penna. He said about this kid. So the kid's crying in the picture, right?
Mhm.
The kid in the cage. Like, he's crying. He's upset. This is Trump. Trump's like, Trump beat him and threw him in the cage, right? And his
Wait a
kid's
minute.
crying.
Actually, this was probably some illegal Mexicans that threw this kid in a cage, and they're like, "You got to stay in there all day, little boy."
Now this is what's sick about it. Look at what this guy even said. Penna said the kid, the guy that threw the boy in that actually threw the boy in the cage, said he got confused on how to get out of the cage and cried when he saw his mother, but he was only in there about 30 seconds. Okay, so who was abusing a child for political gain?
Exactly.
These sick people.
This stuff is getting so crazy. I mean, like, I can't help but laugh at this anymore. This is just so stupid.
It is. It is so stupid. Now, I want to tie this into something else. We talk about just being all emotion, right? Everything's about emotion. If you can make something emotional, you can sway everybody, because most people, sadly, but most young people are looking for a celebrity to tell them what to think. So if you throw out a picture of the crying kid in the cage, the celebrities post it, and oh no, this is crazy, and then they're going to go have a march. The no child should be in a cage march, and they'll be in Washington, the streets of Washington, and they'll have cage hats on their head, and they'll start crying and yelling about cage, shame the cage, no cages, free range children, all children, free range the children, right? Let them go, let them be free, let them be free. Let him be, and then they'll start yelling, F Trump, F the Nazi, F Trump, he belongs in the cage, Nazi. And this is what you have, right? This is just, it's coming, people. It's going to come. So they love playing on emotion. And in the meantime, we have a story like this. This is a story about a shooting that nobody is talking about. This is one report. This is a report June 17th, 2018. Today's the 19th. So this is 2 days ago that this was reported on CBS Morning News, CBS Evening News. Notice how many people have watched this.
8,000.
8,000. And have you heard about this New Jersey shooting?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And have you seen it like out there?
I haven't seen it anywhere.
So listen to this one.
I had to go look for this.
Right. Right. Listen, this is crazy.
There was chaos in Trenton, New Jersey overnight when bullets started flying at an all-night arts festival. One of the shooters is dead. More than 20 are wounded. Meg Oliver has the story.
People flooded out of an art festival in Trenton, New Jersey after gunfire erupted just before 3 a.m. Sunday.
And next thing you know, we turn around and everybody's running down the street. All hell broke loose.
Investigators say it started when several rival gang members at the event started shooting at each other. More than 1,000 people were in the area, sparking a stampede as they ran for their lives.
When I was running, the guy was running next to me. So by the time I realized he got hit, he fell on the ground. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, that could have been me.
22 people were injured, 17 are being treated for gunshot wounds.
Shots fired down here at Trenton all night, y'all.
Police shot and killed one suspect, 33-year-old Tahij Wells. Another suspect, 23-year-old Amir Armstrong, is in custody, charged with a weapons offense, and a third unidentified suspect is in critical condition. Art All Night is in its 12th year, a 24-hour pop-up art gallery that lets artists display their work for free. It typically attracts up to 30,000 people every year. Organizers say, our hearts ache and our eyes are blurry, but our inspiration will never fade, not tonight, not ever.
Police found several weapons on the scene. The suspect who was killed was just released from prison on parole for homicide charges. 3 victims who were in critical condition have been upgraded to stable, including a 13-year-old boy, Elaine.
Meg Oliver.
Okay.
So we're not going to talk about the fact that a couple of thugs who, regardless of New Jersey's nutty gun laws, still had some guns and decided to go shoot up an art festival.
Now, the guy that Tahij Wells, 33 years old. This was from ABC 6 Action News. He's the one who was killed. He was recently released from prison and on parole since February on homicide-related charges.
Oh, isn't that just amazing?
So the guy, what? He's killed some people before. Gets out. So he had a gun. So I guess he went and bought the AR-15 on the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the one that you just buy online just gets shipped right to your house.
Yeah, he went to AR15.com and said, I need one. And they're like, okay, is anything you clear? Any criminal hit? Nope. Good. Boom. Next day, mailed it. He got it on his house doorstep, belt fed AR-15 and a couple thousand rounds of ammunition. And he went to the guy just got some handguns.
Yeah.
Or whatever he got, but he bought them. How'd he buy them? He's a criminal.
Here's the problem, though. This doesn't fit the narrative.
It doesn't fit the narrative.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's why only 8,000 people have watched this video.
Yeah. How many people watched the crying boy in a cage?
Now, this is what I said earlier. I said, nobody's talking about, this is on our Twitter page, nobody's talking about, which is at Jones Holmes Show on Twitter. Nobody's talking about the New Jersey Art Festival shooting. They're too busy using a phony picture of a kid in a cage to play on people's emotions.
Yeah.
This past shooting does not fit the media's narrative. New Jersey gun laws did not stop that one.
Nope.
Here's a shocker. There's evil in this world.
Yep. So you better carry a gun.
That's right. Carry a gun to protect yourself against evil.
Maybe even a gun and a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Maybe a gun with a chainsaw, like Gears of War.
Chainsaw bayonet.
Yeah.
Like USA Today. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about
USA
that.
Today.
USA Today had that clip. It was like it was a news report, and they're showing all these attachments. And they're showing how deadly the AR-15 is. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
Look at the gun used in the Texas church shooting. Okay, so we're looking at what we know about the Ruger AR-556.
I don't think I can make it.
Stock.
This is a base model, right? I'm pretty sure I can't make it full screen. They might pull us copyright, but we can have it like this. All right, here we go. Common, some rare aftermarket options on an AR-15. Some possible modifications. 100 round drum magazine. Underbarrel 12 gauge shotgun. Trigger crank.
Trigger crank.
Chainsaw bayonet.
Chainsaw bayonet. I'm pretty sure I've never seen that option on Ruger's website.
Can you imagine?
Listen, if they have a chainsaw bayonet, I want one.
Oh, I would have a couple of them. That'd be awesome. I don't know what you do with it. How would it run?
I don't know.
What kind of an engine would you have on that thing?
You'd need like one of them little RC car engines.
Yeah.
Like the little gas RC cars.
Or a little
like
electric motor.
A little like 2-stroke nitro motor.
Yeah.
It's just little just start hacking through crowds of crying children in cages.
With your little, like, what would it be, like a 6-inch chainsaw bayonet?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Get it together, people. Come on. How stupid. I mean, this is how dumb we've become as a society. We're this dumb.
This is, and this is the voting block. Preying on people's emotions. So that's just, that's my kind of tie in there. Nobody's talking about this shooting. It doesn't fit the narrative. Everybody that shot, they were thugs and criminals. The one guy was on parole because New Jersey's weak with crime. Homicide-related charges. Let him go. Who cares, right? Just let him go.
Yep.
Out on parole and ends up shooting 22 people.
In the words of Jesse Peterson, amazing.
Amazing. That is amazing.
Oh, man.
All because they don't want to admit that there's evil. There can't be evil.
Nope.
So what New Jersey right now, I guarantee you, right now, New Jersey's lawmakers are trying to figure out what they can do to stop this from happening. You know, they banned 10-round magazines.
They banned 10 round?
Yeah, New Jersey banned 10-round magazines.
So what does that do for anybody with a, like a handgun? That
Look at this. Bans firearm magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition. I saw this one pop up.
Man.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Magazine limits. New background checks expanded. They expanded background checks and imposed more magazine limits. I'm trying to
it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. What does it say? Going from 15 to 10. Well, I know that they were. You'd have to pin a 10. Can you believe it? I mean, just think. Like, we used to live in that place.
Whew. Thank God we don't live there anymore.
I just think about it, I'm like, man, I lived in this weird communist utopia that keeps evolving into something more and more disgusting. Like, what?
Well, look at the concealed carry permit restrictions. What concealed carry in New Jersey? I've never met anyone in New Jersey with a concealed carry license.
They just created a stricter standard of what applicants for a concealed carry permit have to show. You can't even get a concealed carry.
You can't get a concealed carry.
Wow.
What a load of crap.
Yep.
Armor piercing bullet ban? Really?
Look at this one. This one law that they're passing creates a process. A1181 creates a process by which the police can seize any firearm held by a person deemed dangerous by a mental health professional. So a doctor says, I don't like that guy. He's a little crazy. They can seize your gun. Just go right around the constitutional right.
That's crazy.
You know?
Background check expansion. Hold on. Expands background checks to include private gun sales.
How do you do that? Wait a minute. Private gun sales. You mean like the shooting in New Jersey that left 22 dead? That was probably a private gun sale.
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to stop that, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll stop that guy that just was on parole for homicide from running into Camden or wherever he was, the streets of Camden, and picked up a handgun for $400.
Yep.
Since now, because now that they passed this law in New Jersey and they solved all the evil, they solved all evil with this law. So when he goes and he's like, man, finds a guy on the street, dark alley, selling handguns, serial numbers scratched off, and he hands him $400 and he hands him the handgun. At that moment, that law goes into effect.
Yep.
And there's going to be a cop there. Just boom, let me do a quick background check.
Yeah. He's just going, I dream a genie, just pop out of nowhere.
Right. So thank you, Governor Phil Murphy. You eliminated evil from the state of New Jersey.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
You made us all safe.
Lock him up.
And you know what's funny is he's like, isn't he like a Goldman Sachs guy? He's like a big executive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, man. It was interesting because my grandmom lives with my parents now, and she's from New Jersey. And the other day, I was at my parents' house, and I had my gun on my hip. My grandmom goes, "Oh wow, what? Why do you have your gun?" I said, "Oh, so that I can protect you while you live here." And she's like, "Oh, but like, do you have a license for that?" I said, "Of course not." It's like, she was like, "Oh, why not?" And I was like, "Why would I need a license?" Right. And she's like, well, you're supposed to have a license. I said, "Not according to the Constitution." That's right. She was so like, she just didn't get it. She was like, well, that doesn't make sense. So I explained to her. I said, the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed.
Yeah, you know how clear that is?
It's simple. That is the most simple statement. It is your God-given right to carry a firearm. Oh, you know what else is pretty good? I got a quote here from George Washington. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm just gonna read this to you real quick. I gotta find it. Okay, this is on a plaque in Texas. All right, it's a plaque that has the Second Amendment on it, and it has "shall not be infringed" in bold letters. And then under that, it has a quote by George Washington. It says, "A free people ought not only be armed and disciplined, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government.
Yep.
That was our first president that said that.
Right.
So that trumps the whole, well, that didn't include AR-15s. It says sufficient arms and ammunition.
Right.
So who deems what's sufficient?
Right.
I do.
That's right.
If I want an AR-15 with a chainsaw bayonet, if I deem that sufficient, then hey, that's it, man. The government does not have the right to impose laws that require you to have a license to purchase, to carry, to use a firearm. They don't have the right. It's in violation of the supreme law of the land. If you Google right now, the supreme law of the land, United States of America, what comes up? I bet the Constitution does.
Yeah, let's see.
Google it.
Law of the land, United States.
What comes up?
Hey, look, it's the Constitution.
Oh, look at that. What a surprise.
Wow. Wow. Well, and sufficient. We need sufficient arms.
I have 2 words for you. Predator drones.
There you go.
That's what I want. If I need something, it says right there, so that I can withstand. What if I have to stand up against the government? Is that getting a little too crazy?
You'll need predator drones.
Here's what the quote says: a status of independent to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. Hey, if they got predator drones, I want 2.
The whole point of the one of the biggest reasons behind the Second Amendment is to stop tyranny, stop government from going into and toward the direction of tyranny, which historically they do. And that's why the founding fathers, one of the reasons they built that in and why it was so important for everyone to be armed and remain armed was it just keeps, look, we're the longest running experiment per se of a constitutional republic.
Mm-hmm. There's only one thing that keeps us free. One thing. There's only one thing that keeps us free. And as much as people want to deny it, the fact is, the only thing that keeps you free are your weapons.
Right.
Because we live in a corrupt, sin-cursed world. That's what the problem is. So you know what you need to protect yourself? A weapon.
Yep. And
oh well.
But really,
if the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, in my opinion, any state that's in violation of it should no longer be a part of the land.
Right.
Like that land. It's the supreme law of the land, meaning United States. So if you're in violation of it, you lose all federal funding.
It's just weird how the states just get around it. Like New Jersey, California, they just go right around it. When it says shall not be infringed.
Even the good states like Kentucky and Georgia.
Yeah.
I love these 2 states, but they're not. They're in violation of the Second Amendment.
Right.
Kentucky requires concealed carry license to carry concealed. Now you can open carry, which is good, which I think everybody should just open carry. Yeah. But to conceal carry, you need a license or a permit. Same way in Georgia. That is a violation of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, it seems like it would be, since it's fairly simple.
The only person that has the right to tell you cannot carry a gun on the premises would be a private landowner, someone that owns property and it's privately owned. They're the only person that says you're not allowed on the property with a gun.
Right.
There was chaos.
There was chaos.
That was a mistake. Right.
Hey, take away the guns, there's going to be chaos.
There would be. So, yeah, it's just going to be, and it's just going to be a constant argument back and forth. Yeah. What we know right now is our guns are safe for the next, we know we got a guaranteed 2 years. After that,
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Check. We gotta check Chicago real quick.
Oh yeah, let's see what Chicago.
We're behind on this because we've had a few interesting guests on here the last few podcasts.
We have. Let's see in Chicago what we got. We're into the month of June so far.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
Not looking
good at all.
Seriously jump.
Wow.
Let's get the book. So, June to date, 41 homicides, 205 total shot, 170 total shot and wounded, with 35 shot and killed. Just this week, we've had 6 shot and killed, 30 shot and wounded, 36 shot total, with 8 homicides. And that brings our year-to-date total in Chicago to 1,254 shot, 246 homicides.
Man. Now look at the times that you can hang out in Chicago.
It's bad. So
it's
when we
really
started this podcast, like in the beginning, a person was shot every 4 hours and 6 minutes, and I think it was even a little better than that.
Yeah, at one point it was.
4 hours and 6 minutes, a person was shot, and a person was killed every 18 hours and 22 minutes. And then it jumped to every 18 hours and 54 minutes, and we said, "There's hope for Chicago." we really believed things were turning around. We were happy. And then
this has been the summer of death. That's what this is turning out to be.
And then this now has dropped. It's gone from 4 hours and 6 minutes back just when we started this podcast a couple months ago to every 3 hours and 14 minutes a person is shot. Now the last time we did an update on Chicago was like 2 weeks ago. It was 3 hours and 27 minutes. A person was shot.
How many?
Every 3 hours and 27 minutes, a person was shot.
Oh.
And now they're shot every 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Look how quickly they're murdering.
Right. So the last time we did this podcast, now look at the beginning. When we first did this podcast, every 18 hours and 54 minutes, someone was murdered. 2 weeks ago, it was every 17 hours and 37 minutes, someone was murdered. And this week, it's every 16 hours and 29 minutes, someone's murdered.
Yeah, so as it warms up, they're getting pretty shooty outside.
I think that's what it is. I guess it is, huh? Chicago's pretty cold.
Yeah, it's the heat. Look at the spike. Look at the spike on the tent.
It's the heat. It's just, that's what it is. Well, you think about it. Satan probably likes it hot. The heat comes out, and so do the demons.
Yeah. Man, that's bad.
Yeah, man. There's been 88 fatal headshots.
Wow, that's crazy. But because everyone in the media, they're all racists, they don't want to talk about this.
And since it's just the white cops shooting all the blacks, if you look here, so far in 2018, look how many police killings there's been in Chicago in 2018.
2.
Can you believe that?
Out of how many? 200 and something?
1,254.
Yeah, that's killed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So actual homicides.
Total homicides, 246.
So out of 246 people, only 2 of those were cops.
2 of them were killed by cops. Yep.
Not good. I'll tell you what. Stay away from the Austin hood. That's the dangerous one.
Yeah, let's see. The Austin hood has 32 homicides.
32 homicides. 121 wounded.
Man. They're all pretty bad.
Oh, wait. Oh, all others are 6. Okay, that's combined.
I mean, this has like right here on the left. Look at this. Friday 6:15, Saturday 6:16. Here's like the individual where they were shot.
Oh, wow.
And the times they were shot. Like if you go, let's just go here like Monday overtime. So let's go
Monday would be yesterday.
Right, this would be yesterday. Well, let's go Father's Day. Starts. All right, I'm going to go through the shootings on Father's Day. Ready? 12:45, 12:50, 12:50, 1:30, 1:30, 1:40, 6 a.m., 6:15, 6:45, 11:30, 12:25, 4:20, 4:20, 9:15 p.m. Wow, they took a long gap from 4:20 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Must have been Father's Day dinner.
Or they took a nap.
Long nap. And 9:30, 9:30, 9:30, 9:30, 11 p.m. and 11:50 p.m. Non-stop.
Father's Day was a bloodbath, man.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Woo.
That's bad,
wild.
man.
So are the red ones? I guess those are the homicides.
Probably. Yes. Yep. The red ones are the
Oh, wait. So let's look at how many are police involved. That would be the orange ones. I see one.
Yeah, one on Saturday, 2 a.m. They're like, Happy Father's Day.
They just pulled out their M134 and just gunned down the city.
Nothing says Happy Father's Day like a belt-fed minigun.
Oh, man.
Ordered online.
Yeah, they ordered that online. Shipped to their door.
Shipped right to the door. Yep.
Two-day, Amazon Prime.
Amazon. You go to Amazon.com, search for that minigun. Boom.
Yeah.
Right to your door.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
man.
Speaking of Amazon, I sent you something about the Alexa, didn't I?
Yes. Let's see. Alexa for hospitality lets Amazon follow you on vacation. What is this?
Woo. Let's see.
So for those, this is a story, Gizmodo. It looks like Amazon's new Alexa for hospitality service, which puts an Echo device in your hotel room. Ooh, there you go. So Marriott, Westin Hotels, St. Regis Hotels, Aloft Hotels, Autograph Collection Hotels. The Marriott International Property Hotels are going to have Amazon Echoes in your room.
So they will be listening to you.
So they can listen to you at all times.
Wow.
Guests can be given access to thousands of skills. Like, hey, Alexa, check the airport wait times. Play games. Give me a quick guided workout. Or play some white noise to help me fall asleep, Alexa.
White noise? That's racist.
Oh, that is. I want the black noise.
Yeah, me too.
We're
going to get kicked off talking about this one.
In the future, Amazon says guests will be able to connect their Amazon accounts to the in-room Echo device, granting them access to content like audiobooks and the streaming music service of their choice. Guests will then be automatically disconnected. That's in quotes. I don't know why that's in quotes. When they check out of their hotel room. Why is that in quotes?
I don't know.
Wow. So they're going to just stick this in. So now they'll be spying on you when you're in your hotel room.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to sell to you. That's all it is, man. How can we make the deal?
What can we sell you?
You sent the FBI agent, FBI lover.
Oh yeah, the FBI lover.
Peter, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Strozrock.
Something like that. He's the one, he was sending anti-Trump text messages.
Yep.
With his FBI lover. He's the one who said he would stop Trump.
He's going to stop him.
And after the Inspector General's report that came out a couple days ago, they escorted him out of the building. And but he still has his job with the Human Resources Department.
He's fired.
He's basically
You're fired.
Fired.
That's right. Get him out of here.
Get him out. Get him out.
Weirdo.
Anti-Trump text messages. So this was the one here, huh? Investigators are examining texts between Peter Strzok, deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI, and Lisa Page to see whether they were involved in media leaks. Someone's been leaking something.
Yep.
There was this kid in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the story. It was some rapper. His name was XXX Temptation. Tentacion.
I don't know.
I don't know who he was. He was a young rapper. He's 20 years old. He was shot and killed Monday in Florida, I think. And I have no clue who he was.
I love this headline. I didn't lose my life. He did. The woman XXX Tentacion beat and choked while she was pregnant with his child. Says she is devastated by his death and is disgusted people are speaking for her. Oh, really? So,
wow.
So you're upset that the guy that beat on you and
while
choked
you were pregnant.
While you were pregnant.
Look, there's a picture right there. And she created a GoFundMe.
What?
So he beat her while she was pregnant, choked her and beat her. And then she created a GoFundMe account. So this idiot thug is now shot dead and she's crying about it.
Oh, he got shot?
I think so.
Really?
He threatened to kill her and their unborn child.
Whoa.
He was fatally shot as he left a motorcycle dealership. I mean, this is his bad news. He looks like bad news.
Look at that guy. What in the world? He's a demon.
He is a
I think
demon.
he's a Nephilim demon, man.
He has what is that, a palm tree tattooed on his forehead? What is that?
Oh, I thought you were about the thing growing out of his head there.
No, he got something growing out of his head, too. Looks like weed.
He's got weed growing out of his head.
He's got weed growing out of his head. Smoked so much of it is growing out of his head. And is that a palm tree?
I don't know what that is.
But, man.
Make it bigger. Let's see. What is that thing? I want to know what that is.
So this girl that he beat, the girlfriend, he beat her, threatened to kill her, choked her, threatened to kill the unborn child. She set up a GoFundMe campaign trying to reach $25,000.
And she's sad that he's dead.
This guy's buying motorcycles and rapping. And everybody's like, oh.
You think this was just a random act of violence, or you think he maybe owed somebody some money or something like that?
I don't know, man. What is this? A hand-drawn photo on Instagram showed both her and his faces with the caption, she wanted to scream at the top of my lungs until I care, then keep screaming.
Until I cat.
Until I cat, then kept screaming. Huh. Yeah. I don't know what the whole story, but I just, this is the whole, the reason I even bring it up. These are the people that the youth are idolizing. Like they love these people and they follow them and, and they're not good people. I mean, this is a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy.
She looks kind of scary herself.
As they say on Westworld all the time.
Yeah.
These violent delights have violent ends. It's a good saying.
It is.
So what's this here? This is a story 2 hours ago. Fox News, governors pull National Guard troops from border to protest Trump's zero tolerance policy.
Yeah, certain states. To me, it sounds like it's mainly Democrat-controlled states are yanking some of the National Guard boys.
I think we got a video clip here.
Oh, do we?
Where'd it go?
We lost it.
Come back. Come back.
Come back.
Protesters march. That's what I'm trying to play. Nope, not trying to play it. I'm trying to play the governor clip. Huh. That's weird. It's like they pulled the video.
Yeah, it doesn't want us to play it.
Oh.
Jeff Paul. He's live in Tornillo, Texas, which is southeast of El Paso. Jeff.
Yeah, Trace, we're extremely close to the U.S.-Mexico border, less than a mile away, and behind us, off into the distance beyond those chain link fences, you can see some white structures. Those are the tents the government has set up to house some of the teenage boys who have been detained after trying to cross the border.
Here it is.
Free our children now.
It's the kid in the cage protest.
There they are.
Free our children now. Others, though, carrying signs with messages reading, quote, humanity doesn't require a green card.
Did you see that one sign. It said Frump is.
I saw that.
They don't even know how to spell Trump.
We need to also fight for stronger immigration policy, better immigration policy that will make it so 12 million undocumented people in the country don't have to live in the shadows. Because right now it's about asylum seekers, but it's immigration as a whole.
These people
now,
aren't
our
Americans.
Cameras and much of the media's cameras are not being allowed inside these facilities right now. Any of the images that you're seeing inside these detention facilities are being provided by the Department of Health and Human Services. But this particular image is one of the few images captured by an independent, non-government photographer that's giving us insight into what sometimes is happening. It shows a little girl who is crying as her mother is searched and detained. Now, the people in favor who are defending this zero-tolerance policy say that if these
Stop
families
abusing the
wouldn't try to
kids.
cross the border in the first place, this wouldn't be a problem. Trace?
Jeff Paul live for us in Tornillo, Texas. Jeff, thank you.
Yeah, man. They're going to keep doing it, too, because
They didn't really say anything about the National Guard guys.
No, they didn't mention that. What is this? What states are doing it?
There was a few. It was like Virginia, Colorado,
Maryland and Virginia, and one other.
Yeah, I think it's Colorado.
Is it? That's sad about Virginia. Just kind of turned left, took a left turn.
Yep.
New
Three
York,
governors are
Colorado, Massachusetts.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
They've
New York,
canceled agreements
Colorado,
to send members.
Massachusetts.
New York, Colorado, Massachusetts are refusing to send troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. Yep. Cuomo says, we will not deploy National Guard to the border because of that child in the cage. I saw that picture and said, Frump, this is enough. No more. What was the basta?
No, what in the world?
Wasn't that the thing they kept saying? Hillary started saying it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
She started to say, I have one word. Basta.
Yeah.
Basta.
It was appalling to hear Donald Trump describe immigrants as drug dealers, rapists, and criminals. He's talking about people you and I know, isn't he? He's talking about people who love this country, work hard, and want nothing more than a chance to build a better life for themselves and their children. And when people and businesses everywhere rejected his hateful comments, did he apologize? No. He doubled down. It's shameful, and no one should stand for it. So I have just one word for Mr. Trump.
Uh-oh.
Basta. Enough.
Now look at that. Look at
Basta.
that. The National
Basta.
Council of La Raza.
Basta.
Now, La Raza, isn't La Raza isn't that like the race or something?
Yeah, La Raza means the race. The National Council of the Race, meaning like superior race.
That sounds like a terrorist group.
Kind of does, huh?
Don't they call like the white supremacists? They're like a racial terrorist group.
Was she speaking at a terrorist event?
I think so.
Like a terrorist convention? The Latino terrorist convention?
Yeah. Hillary Clinton has she's holding a rally at the Latino terrorist convention.
They're sending over the kids in cages. Oh man.
I texted you a picture earlier of Nancy Pelosi carrying a MS-13 gang member. And said, think about the children.
That's right. Think about those poor children. Man, this story right here is so crazy. This is the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, forced to apologize for eating Chick-fil-A during Pride Month. Okay. This guy just tweets out a picture of his receipt because he
Mm-hmm.
got a 10% off a $31.58 order
Mm-hmm.
using a cash card, using the Cash app,
Mm-hmm.
which was a debit card from. It was like a cashback reward thing, and he's the CEO of that company also, so it's kind of self promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I got some money back using this app, and Soledad O'Brien is the one that says this is an interesting company to boost during Pride Month. He said, "You're right. Completely forgot about their background."
Oh, wait a minute. So I had this all wrong. I thought he was apologizing to Chick-fil-A.
No, he had to apologize to the internet for eating Chick-fil-A this month, anytime during the month of June.
Wow.
Because
I'm sorry, internet. I'm sorry.
Because he offended the gays.
He ate the Christian's chicken.
He ate the Christian's chicken. And you can't do that.
Don't eat that Christian chicken.
That Christian chicken is highly offensive. It's highly
Come on,
offensive.
Jack.
Chicken.
Didn't you know that Christian's chicken hates the gays?
So it's like, I mean, what is this? Is this saying like what garlic is to vampires, Chick-fil-A is to the gays?
That's okay. So all the anti-gay people out there, all you gotta do is go out and get your Chick-fil-A, just start running around holding it up like it's a cross, or throw chicken sandwiches at the gay people, and it's like holy water on a vampire.
Like gay pride parade going on. You just show up with your bag of Chick-fil-A and be like, ha! You see what I got? You get back now. You get back. I got Chick-fil-A.
That gay pride parade will stand into a gay pride stampede. They'll be running.
They're gonna be running.
Get it away! Get it away!
Not the Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, this is what we've turned into as a country. This is pathetic.
You got this Twitter CEO apologizing for eating Chick-fil-A during Pride Month.
You better stop that there, CEO Jack.
Why is everybody... I mean, everybody gets offended at everything, and you can't really joke around. Like what we're just doing, joking around, is going to be considered highly offensive.
Oh, I'm sure. People will be upset.
And we're just joking
But you know
around.
what, though? That's okay. The people that get offended at that, that's okay. Go ahead and get offended.
Yeah.
Be offended. If you can't sleep at night because we made a joke about bringing Chick-fil-A to a gay pride parade.
It's like kryptonite.
It is, man.
Chick-fil-A is like kryptonite.
But here's the thing. All right, this isn't even like liberals anymore, man. This is the pinko commies. Because I know even liberal people that would be like, all right, this is just retarded.
Right. Hey, you can't say that.
Yes, I can. I can say retarded all day long.
Yeah, I mean...
And if that offends someone, then you're probably not retarded.
That's probably true.
Because a retarded person probably doesn't know what the meaning of the word retarded is. Ralphie May, the comedian, made that point a long time ago.
Yeah. Man, it's just crazy. We've gotten this like crazy... I don't know. It just seems like it was better. It really was better. You go back 50 years ago and people could just kind of joke around with each other and didn't get as all offended.
I was just talking to the Viking the other day, and we were talking about do you remember the movie Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was telling me about that when that movie came out, his dad went to the movie theater and he had already seen the movie once. And he went to see it again with some friends, and there was a ton of black people in the movie, and he was like, oh no, there might be a riot or something. He was like super afraid. He said, man, them black people were dying laughing at those jokes.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
Yep. It was. Man. This, let's see what this is. I saw this article. Science alert. Guess which place is the psychopath capital of the United States according to science?
Oh, let me guess. California.
Oh my, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. I'm hiding it from you.
Vermont.
Nope.
Hmm.
It's like super obvious. It's not a state. It's just
Oh, it's not a state?
It's an area. Yeah, it's just in the U.S.
Oh, the Northeast.
Capital. The psychopath capital.
It's got to be either California, because that's where all those crazy, like, you know, the Manson type hippies. I'm sure you still got a bunch of those out in California. Or it had to be like the Northeast, just like some crazy, like whack job, culty like group up there.
You know what it is?
Where?
The capital.
Oh, it's literally the capital.
Yeah.
Oh.
They found that the District of Columbia has the highest concentration of psychopaths.
Oh. Why didn't I think of that?
It just makes perfect sense. I didn't even know. I saw this article. I had no clue. I'm reading it now. Connecticut was the most psychopathic state per capita, followed by California, then New Jersey, then New York. Now, is this okay? Now, this article, this is sciencealert.com. This article comes out and is like, hey, look, here's where all the psychopaths are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, now I don't know what this, if this website has a, you know, a political bent or not, but is it interesting? This was this study from economist Ryan Murphy looked at how the big 5 personality traits are spread across the states. They sampled 1.6 million people. The traits extroversion, neuroticism, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness to experience.
Extra virgin, like the olive oil? Oh, extroversion.
Extroversion.
like an extrovert.
Like being extroverted. Now,
Okay.
but do you see the pattern in the states? Number 1, Connecticut. Number 2, California. Number 3, New Jersey. And 4, New York.
New York was tied with Wyoming. I see that now.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
I
these
could
are
see
like
some crazies living up there in the mountains, maybe.
the
But now
most
look at
communist
the other
states.
end of the table, though.
Right.
It's the South.
It's the South. The most communist states are the most psychopathic. And then the least 5 are West Virginia, Vermont, Tennessee, North Carolina, New Mexico.
Vermont's the only one that's not in the South, but Vermont has crazy good gun laws.
They're very free. And New Mexico's kind of sketchy.
New Mexico is kind of weird.
It is a little bit weird. If you live in New Mexico, we want you to come on the podcast.
Yeah, tell us about
Jones Holmes Show at gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at Jones Holmes Show.
What's going on in New Mexico?
Yeah, I want to know. Because it seems like an odd, like they had that, what was the, who was that governor of Mexico?
What's his name? The libertarian guy.
No, the Richardson guy, though, that Democrat.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had, what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. Why can't I think of the dude's name? Just ran for president.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
I thought Richardson was for a while.
Who was the libertarian that just ran for president?
The libertarian that ran for president.
Yeah, the guy that didn't know what the...
Oh, Gary Johnson?
Gary Johnson,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, he was governor of New Mexico.
Right now, it's Susan Martinez. Before that was Bill Richardson. Before that, Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
He was in for a while. Yeah, so, in there's an Associated Press story. If I can find this story real quick. It was a tweet. I made a comment, but the tweet was breaking news that French media was reporting that a woman crying, quote, "God is great," has injured 2 with a box cutter at a supermarket in southern France.
She's a Muslim.
I said, I get this feeling, just a hunch, that she wasn't shouting out "God is great" in English or French.
Yeah.
And that's how they spin it.
I'll guarantee you she was yelling out Allah snack bar.
I need the snack bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of disturbing, man. Like, that's how they spin it. Like, she was yelling, God is great. She was like a Christian with a box cutter, yelling, God is great, singing, how great is our God. And then just box cutting people. No, that's not what was going on. But, man.
They want you to think that it's somebody crazy talking about Jesus, like Charles Manson talking about Jesus. You ever seen that when he's talking the videos of Charles Manson when he's talking about Jesus?
No.
He's like, oh, there's all kinds of Jesuses. There's Jesus in New York. He's like, it's so crazy.
We got to find it. Let's see. This one?
It's in his interview.
Oh, all kinds of Jesuses.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesus. There's all kinds of Jesuses. There's a black Jesus down in Florida. He's having a good time. There's a Mexican Jesus in Mexico. I mean, there's all kinds of there's a Jewish Jesus. I mean, Jesus, you know. There's all kinds of Jesus coming back everywhere. And nothing can stop it. It's a consciousness that lives in your mind. You know.
That guy was a nut, man.
He's nuts.
You want to know something really crazy? He's from Kentucky.
He's what?
He's from Kentucky.
Is he?
Yeah, he was born in the hills of Kentucky.
He's still not dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he died. Yeah, he died November 19th.
Yep.
Here he was.
Well, God, I guess you're my best friend, being I invented you.
You believe in God, Charles?
Sure, I believe in myself. Why wouldn't I? Which one?
Are you Jesus Christ?
Which Jesus? There's all kinds of Jesuses.
That guy's a nut, man.
He was crazy, man.
He was crazy.
Now, that's a psychopath right there.
I only got a couple stories. This here you go. Boots.
What's this
is
one?
The Charlotte Observer.
Mm-hmm.
Boots said, quote, made in USA. And the military bought thousands of them, but they were made in China. The Chinese manufacturer of the boots was told to include USA on the label of the Welco boot uppers. So that when they were shipped to USA, the made in China tags were removed. And they thought they bought, wow, look at this. They bought, the United States Department of Defense paid at least $138 million to Welco for military footwear made in USA.
For some Chinese boots.
Chinese boots, man. Fake USA made boots. That's crazy.
That is wild.
This is wild.
What's this?
Man crushed to death in Indonesia when his own mother's coffin fell on him.
Whoa.
But I'm trying
to
figure
dark.
out. Yeah. What is going on right here?
Well, you know how like we bury? I think they like must launch their people or something.
I mean, he's walking up like a homemade ladder made from some
trees.
Trees is kind of tied together, and they're carrying this massive coffin up onto this massive looking, what is it? Some platform. And when they're carrying the coffin up, I guess he slipped and it fell on him and ended up crushing him.
Wow, that is dark.
Yeah. Look right there. The ladder was not properly reinforced.
Well, they don't have labor laws there.
No. But the family said they're not pressing charges, so.
Who would they press charges on? The dead mother?
I don't know. Or whoever set up the ladder, I guess. And this is the last story I have for us about, this comes from New Zealand. Man charged with stealing human toes from dead body exhibition. You ever seen those? They have these weird, creepy things where it's like, it travels around. These people take these dead bodies that are like cast in, like whatever that, like some, that kind of stuff. Where they're real dead, real human bodies, and they like pose them in different poses, and then they coat them with something so they don't rot. Huh. That is the creepiest thing ever. That is pretty wild looking. I wonder who these people are. Do you get to know who they are? I don't know. Like, this is just a person. Like it was a baby. We grew up, lived
Yep.
a life, and now it's forever posing, just ripped of its skin. It is a
Yeah,
little
think
freaky.
about how sick the person was that skinned it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how messed up that is. Somebody skinned a real human being that was dead and put them in a glass case.
Oh, it is pretty weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
This
They
is
do
weird, man. Look at that one.
Those are real human bodies.
That's a scary. It's
And they're
playing
all
football.
skinned. They're all skinned. All right, so whoever runs this is a psychopath.
This skinned human is playing basketball. Wow. Yeah, this is
That
pretty disturbing.
is creepy.
Is this one eaten by worms or something? No, it's just showing its wow. So this
blood.
this body, yeah, they pulled it all apart and just left all of its blood vessels, arteries, and capillary veins that they could, so you can see it. That's pretty wild looking and disturbing. You know, I had a goat die, a little female goat that died Friday or Saturday. I forget which. I think Friday. And I threw it to the pig because I just was like, you know, I don't really want to bury this thing, and I don't want predators to be attracted to a dead goat. Just throw it in the woods. So I'm going to recycle it. And I gave it to the pig, and he wasn't interested. So I had to partially skin the goat. That's what I did. Fed it to the pig. You know, keep that cycle of life going.
Oh, after you partially skinned it, it ate it?
Oh yeah, man. As soon as I poked into like its armpit and started skinning it and ripped the skin off its back.
Yeah.
We went out, we saw it the other day. Sarah saw it. She's like, "Did you see what's left?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "It's kind of weird. It's just a skull and a spine."
Yeah.
That thing ate everything. I think he'll eat that too. Well, then this morning I go out and I have this little black goat, and he was I brought him back. He almost died. It kept falling over, and I brought him back. And I guess he got real weak. He got real bad again too, and so I've been dosing him, deworming him, giving him vitamin B shots and iron shots and all these different things. And you just kind of find with goats, it's like some of them just seem to be very weak, and then the other ones, like the other 6 goats, just never have problems with them. You know, they're hardy.
My
strong.
sister raises those Nigerian dwarfs, and those things are all pretty healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've lost a few of them now, but I think I've lost about, I don't know, four of them. And
yeah, you've been raising a bunch of them.
Weird. Oh yeah, keep raising them. But the one that died, but I kind of felt bad because it looked like what happened. They've been in the backyard grazing, and then a storm came, and he's been weak, like falling over, and I have to go out and look for him and pick him up. And I think he just last night we were out in the woods working on the fence, and the storm came. We came in the house, and he had been walking around all day like normal, and I think he ended up just falling over in that storm and just got stuck, and just somehow it killed him. I don't know if he drowned or I don't know what happened, but I came out this morning and found them. So threw him to the pig, and I don't know what the pigs, but I didn't skin him, so I don't know if the pigs could eat him or not.
Right.
I'd imagine that if he gets hungry enough, the pig will eat him.
Oh yeah, pigs eat anything, man.
It is. It's wild. I mean, hooves, bones, leg bones, ribs, ate everything.
It is crazy.
It is. But they're good.
Yeah, they get a little hungry. They just go to town.
They're a wonderful animal to have when you have a little farm like that, and you get these things that, like if a chicken dies or something like that dies, and you need to figure out, you know, what do you do with it? You don't want to waste it. You don't want to just throw it into the woods and attract predators. And sometimes you can feed it back to the chickens, I guess, or do different things. But in this case, I know some people, what they'll do is they'll take the body of the chicken and put it in a 5-gallon bucket and drill holes in the bottom of it and to set it up so it becomes like a maggot bucket, and the maggots fall out, and so the chickens can eat them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's an interesting idea, but
yeah, that's kind of gross.
It is. Well, I think that about wraps us up.
Yeah.
But it's been a good one. We have some. I hope we have someone. We're going to try to do one Thursday night. I'm not quite 100% sure yet. We're going to get some gun enthusiasts on, and always looking for guests. Always looking for people to talk to.
Yeah, really looking for somebody that can kind of give us a an explanation on long distance shooting.
Yeah, and something else that we changed a little bit. We went back and retitled a couple episodes, and we denoted the ones when we have a guest on. If we're not talking about heated political things, we like having fun and talking to a lot of different people. So we put a little tag in the beginning of the episode title that says "Gonna have me some fun."
Yeah,
and that's just kind of saying this is just a for fun podcast. We're doing an episode just talking to people. And laughing.
So if you just want to listen to the serious ones or you just want to listen to the goofy ones, that's how you know which one's which.
Yep. So every episode still comes out with the episode number. This is the 21st episode. We've done 3 of them so far. And like the last one we did with AJ, that's denoted as gonna have me some fun episode. We started talking about the weird, and we have fun with it.
The that one went up. That one went up a couple days ago, didn't it?
I think it went up Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So, well, but it's always so fun doing these because there's always something crazy going on.
Oh, always.
It's constant. And but we if you want to be on the show, just send us an email. jonesandholmesshow@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter @jonesholmesshow. And get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah. We have a good time.
Well, until next time, everybody.
Go out there. Use your AR-15 guns with chainsaw bayonets.
And quando omni fluncus moritati, everybody. See ya.
See ya.